Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about Nicky Dicky's Path of Martial Arts. And this is a book that's very near and dear to my heart as it inspired one of my own personal projects, The Game of War, along with An Unexpectedly Green Journey. They were both major influences. Um, so let's start with the good. I love the game mechanics from the initial version of release. The way that you would train, the open world style was beautiful, wonderful from a gameplay perspective. Now, I understand that Nikki had to cut this back and cut this off due to the sheer scope he was going for was just too much, and I can understand that. I can sympathize with that. I definitely have had problems like that with the Game of War. Um, so it's totally understandable, perfectly reasonable thing for him to do. That said, it was a fantastic system, and it still maintains that spirit in the current demo. Um, One of the things that I really love is the story-focused aspects, and the fact that you can't get all of the story in a single playthrough. I love that you have to replay it to understand the whole picture. But when you do, it just feels so complete. The world feels like it's not about you, but your piece in it. And I find that very interesting. Um, the entire introductory section, even in the new updates, I would say is fantastic. And it has complex moral choices that make you have to view the world through a lens of what is going to be most effective versus what is going to be what, what is typically thought of as right, which is just very interesting. And I will say these choices do get simplified a little more as time goes on, which I don't love. But towards the towards the expedition arc, when it's revealed Mei Mei's true nature, um, or he Mei, not entirely sure on that one. I think it's he Mei. When her true nature is revealed, and having the player have to decide between this character that they've grown to love and doing what they believe is right is a very interesting way of throwing personal relationships and intersecting them with morality. Um, I will say it's not all good. Uh, some of the plot twists are a little out of nowhere. Um, the whole the whole thing about when you discover that, well, I won't get into that, but let's say May does something bad, and the whole discovery of it feels very, very sudden and very out of left field. But I will say it adds a layer to her character as a very secretive person that you can appreciate on further playthroughs. Um, I will say that towards the expedition arc, things start to slow down, and it can be really hard to make that transition as a player between a uh, martial arts training and uh, story-driven uh, experiences with or occasional experiences with your fellow martial artists to then being put in the situation where you're uh, essentially in a political drama, and it's a little bit jarring as a reader because of how fast the turnaround is. But I will say that it's well written, and you will enjoy, if you enjoy political intrigue, you will enjoy that section of the game. Um, I will admit I haven't played all the way through at this point in time through the new update, but I will say from what I've seen in the new introductory segments, the ways that they have you grapple with the nature of your family and uh, slavery and second class citizenship and all these different ideas that are very relevant for the setting and create a or an overall sense of the world around you. It's just very interesting. Overall, I'd say it's a very, very good book. Highly recommend. And we'll give it an 8 out of 10. Cheers.